Very good evening to you. It's a UK and Europe video blog for this evening. We're on the 19th of July, folks. I'm sorry for not getting a video sooner. I just simply haven't had the chance, and anytime I've been trying to do a video, it's not materialised. But anyway, I'm here now, and I'm sitting down and looking at the models, folks, and I've got some pretty good news for you. We've seen a pattern dominated by unsettled weather throughout the summer. Really, we've never really been able to get that ridge across the UK in a kind of profound way and a kind of partial permanent basis for any length of time. We've flirted with a couple of days, perhaps 3 days at the most. The temperatures boosting into the low to mid 20s. Up here in Scotland, the southeast of England even is now locked into a more unsettled pattern with a pretty decent Atlantic low, pretty much an unseasonably low pressure for this time of year. That, folks, is perched up into Norway, Sweden and Finland, producing pretty strong winds. But there's mild air getting perched in as well as the unsettled weather brought by that low pressure. The leading cold front associated with that low, folks, is sweeping across the continent at the moment. What we're finding is, folks, we're seeing the front and the cool air brought in by the low pressure of the Atlantic is slamming up against very warm, sticky air across the central part of the continent. We're seeing some very intense thundery downpours, some intense thunderstorms. The atmosphere is very warm, it's very soupy in the lower levels. We've got that colder mid to upper level atmosphere. That lapse rate is indeed pretty large. That's the contrast between warm at the surface and cold in the upper levels of the atmosphere. Very large contrast. We've got more vigorous upper level support. We've got a much more vigorous upflow of air, and it really does enhance those thunderstorms along the boundary. And that cold front, folks, is sliding. It's currently over eastern Germany. It's going to slide into Poland tomorrow, and it's going to push farther and farther east. As it does so, there's going to be much cooler, much more settled Atlantic maritime air going to sweep across the continent. The majority of Europe, folks, by the end of this week, is going to be bathed in Atlantic, cool, unsettled weather. And the far east of Europe, the ridge of high pressure, the pressure brought by that very large trough that was once just over the UK is expanding all the time, and it's going to cover the majority of Europe by the end of this week. Temperatures are on the rise across places like Kiev, Bucharest in Romania, up into Moscow, Russia. We're seeing temperatures bordering 30 Celsius in places like Moscow. In the next day or so, folks, we're going to be seeing the temperatures increase as that front tries to push farther and farther east. It's really increasing the southwest flow in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere, so therefore it's pulling warmer and warmer air up into places like Kiev and Moscow. So over the next few days, folks, folks in Romania, Bulgaria, up into Ukraine, Russia, you're going to see much hotter conditions, the highest temperature of the season so far across the far eastern part of Europe. As for the UK, it's going to be an unsettled remainder of this week. But the good news, folks, is I can tell you this, is the European model is predicting that there's a ridge trying to build across the northeast Atlantic. By Saturday, you can see it knocking on the door, and I've included the charts on this post to let you see what the European is predicting. By Saturday, it's knocking on Ireland's doorstep. By Sunday, into Monday, and into Tuesday, that ridge of high pressure, folks, is across the UK. So in Scotland, we're going to be pushing the low to mid 20s by Monday and Tuesday of next week. So a glorious weather pattern showing up. We have got that warm weather back, and it'll be by Sunday into Monday, perhaps Monday, Tuesday, even Wednesday of next week. We could be knocking on mid 20s in Glasgow, Edinburgh, up to Inverness. Not so sure about the position of the high at the moment. Is a bit unpredictable. Certainly Scotland is going to be pushing the low to mid 20s. England could be talking the upper 20s towards the 30 Celsius mark by early and mid next week. So you've been told here, and certainly stay tuned the next couple of days, folks. I'm going to update you on the latest, but we have got a warm weather period coming up. We all deserve it, folks, in this summer. Thankfully, this summer, folks, hasn't been as bad as last year. The first part of the year, you can remember, it was very, very good, warm and sunny. And then by about kind of July 1st onward, it was a washout. This year hasn't been the case. But we can look forward to next week. Much warmer weather in store across the UK, while the majority of the continent, may I add, will be bathed in cool and unsettled weather. Bye for now.